Let's talk about the Rockets and Warriors meeting in Game 2 tonight. And Houston needs to try to figure out how to slow down Kevin Durant. Is that all? He dropped 35 points in Game 1. He's averaging 40 points per game since that whole "you know who I am" comment. I also want to throw this stat at you. He's scored 200 points in the last 4 games. The only guys to do that in a playoff stretch is the great Michael Jordan, our greatest living American, Allen Iverson, and LeBron James.
Greatest living American?
Are you talking about somebody's Mount Rushmore?
Wow, that's a whole show.
Okay. When Paul mentioned AI earlier, I was thinking, like, we need a special effect on this show where, like, anytime someone mentions Allen, like, the clouds part, the music starts and all of that. Just saying. Do you think there is anything, Paul, the Rockets can do to slow down KD?
You know, I thought about this, and there's nothing you can do defensively, but I'll tell you what they can do. They can put him in situations where Houston has Durant guarding Harden, a guy who gets fouled the most.
Right.
So if you are able to get him in foul trouble, that's a way of slowing him down. But on defensive end, you know, there's no way to stop him. So you have to go at him on the other end of the court. And that's what we always talked about when I play. Like, look, if he's going to drop 35, we're going to have to make him work tonight. So we're going to get him in situations where he's on Harden the majority of the game through pick and roll.
Right.
A guy that gets fouled constantly, if you get KD in foul trouble, you got opportunity. But on the flip side of that, you're going to make him work on defense.
And tire him out. I mean, you used to do that with Kobe, right?
Absolutely. You tire him out so he doesn't have as much energy on the offensive end.
Listen, I wish I had all sorts of great answers for you. I will say this. At some point, he is taking a lot of contested outside shots. And we've talked about this before. He's not really a three-point guy. He's one of those
I don't know if those are contested.
Guys.
When you're 7 feet and the guy is 6'3", challenging, that's not really a contest.
Bear with me. At some point, even the best shooters, some of those fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I still want him to shoot from there if I'm the Rockets. When he starts putting the ball on the floor and driving to the basket, creating a traffic, and then has all those choices as perimeter shooters, that's when I think he's the most scary.
Most lethal, yeah.
So put him to the line, nope. Keep him on the outside, take your chances, live and die with it. You may die with it, but he's just an unstoppable force right now.
I mean, look, this is to a degree what Patrick Beverley and Lou Williams were saying from the podium after their final loss to KD. Right. They were like, I think Shelly Smith asked them, like, what more could you do? And it's just like, there isn't.
No answer.
I think it was Louis, like, we tried everything, I promise, and I know they did. I do think what you're saying about trying to tire him out a little bit works. Obviously, Pat Beverley got in his head a little bit in the first 2 games of that series, but we saw that only works so far,
I mean, those
right?
shooting percentages are unbelievable, especially the degree of difficulty. I know you guys are saying it's not that hard when you're 7 feet, but he's still a long way from the basket.
This is P.J. Tucker guarding him from earlier this season. This is a little bit of what you said, Jackie, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to keep him outside.
Keep him out there.
That sort of thing. I mean, look, there's sometimes you're not going to be able to stop great players. Right. I will say the foul trouble thing, too, it is a little bit what some of these teams have tried to do with Steph.
Right.
And we saw Steph almost fouled out of Game 1 of this series. It's actually to the point, Steve Kerr had a great line the other day that kind of got lost in all of the talking about the officials. Imagine that. But he said that, he wants Steph to stop committing these fouls and that he actually asked Steph, he was like, hey, Steph, where's your mom? And he pointed up to the top, and we all know Sonia Curry. And Steve said, I caught Sonia's eye, and I said, tell your son to stop fouling. And it didn't work. And so Steve said, I'm going to talk to Dell before this next game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Steph has almost fouled out of a couple of these games.
But Katie has length that Steph can't even begin to approach.
Can't even get there.